they say all men are created equal. Shot! Master! I'll pull out the Glock! Full of suffering, succotash, son!
It's one of your nuts hanging out of your shorts.
Real glass!
You have a father, but your father's dead.
Okay, the next person on the list is Earl Hebner. What a referee. What an iconic man.
So, it's a bit shit, a bit mid.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty mid. I mean, he's a referee. He's got the iconic history behind him. Doesn't really add
It's just
anything to
got
AEW.
the AEW ref tendencies. So I think we're going to put all the NPC refs in mid, because we already went over our opinions on how we feel about the refs in AEW. So
Makes
obviously
sense.
Aubrey Edwards and Mr. Knox are the two main culprits. So we've talked about them quite a lot, but
Bryce Ramsbow.
the rest they're just mid.
Nothing.
I can't believe he's the only one in X-Pac Heat. It's just him.
You know, it'll be so funny if he ends up being the only one, but
Well,
okay.
the beef is personal. Okay.
Moving on to Eddie Kingston. I feel like I love him. I'm
Elite, really?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I mean, we could argue it maybe, but
he's like, I don't know. Convince me to put him in Elite. Like, why does he belong there?
well, here's what you sent me a meme ages ago where it was like Eddie Kingston thinks wrestling is real, and that's why he
Yeah.
is the way he is, and that sums it up perfectly. Like the passion that he brings, the realism that he brings, and you can believe that he's a tough guy. I feel like you wouldn't want to get in a fight with him. Like there's some wrestlers they might be jacked up to absolute shit, but they wouldn't win a fight. Eddie Kingston would win a
He's
fight.
street smart. He knows.
Yeah.
His promos are insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, like, wrestling wise, like obviously that's a bit of an unorthodox, like strong style. A lot of influences there. But I was thinking, like, is his matches that good? But I was thinking about the last pay-per-view, World's End, Mox Continental Classic, final. It was fantastic,
Yeah.
so I'm slipping into Elite.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
I
something
think
different, isn't it?
yeah, and I think
That's
he
why I'm like feeling weird
embodies.
about putting him in Elite, because Elite, it's like a lot of that like Elite style of wrestling, as in the Elite, the faction, that they popularized, mixing the high flying like indie with the New Japan style, and he's a bit different with that. But yeah, I can be convinced.
He doesn't really. You're right. He doesn't fit in, but I think that makes him better. He stands out. He is his own unique person. He don't give a single fuck. I love him and Claudio.
No,
I
he
love their
don't.
dynamic that they hate each other. And I love the fact that he won
Yeah.
the Continental Classics. I wasn't really expecting it. And
No,
it was a really pleasant surprise. He definitely deserved it.
like you're not expecting it, but he's built up enough and he's like good enough that like when it does happen, you're not like, oh, like that's a letdown, or that's random.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah,
totally agree.
keep him
He
there, man.
belongs. He belongs. He really does.
Yeah, why not?
The next person on the list is Emi Sakura. I think she's a very good wrestler.
I do not like.
Do you
I
know?
do not
Explain.
like. I don't know. Like, it just don't click with me. Like, ever since she came out as like Freddie Mercury, like when she first appeared and she did the whole Riho angle where like she was like the trainer of Riho. I think she trained Riho, right? I don't know. Just did nothing for me. Like coming out all obnoxious as like Freddie Mercury. And like the wrestling itself is just like mid. I'm happy that she connects with so many people. I'm happy she's
Yeah.
over. It
Yeah,
just
she is.
it's done nothing for me.
Does nothing for you. Yeah, I mean, it's fair enough, and you don't. And again, it's another case of her not really having much of a chance to achieve that either, I think.
I think
So
it's had quite a big shot. Whoa, not 4 or 5.
no, that was an accident. That was an accident.
I'd say Battle Royale fodder is the most I'd give her.
Really, right, okay. I feel,
Yeah.
yeah. She kind of
Yeah.
blends in. She blends in with the women's division, and yeah, it was a shame that she
And she's a
was.
useful person to have
Mm,
around, and she could, especially when they do those like not a squash match, but when like the intention is that the opponent is going to squash them, but they elongate out to about 5 minutes, and the opponent has a bit of like a comeback. I think yeah, perfect for that type of match. Like yeah, I can appreciate it. Like I think she has a place on the roster in that, but any more than that, I don't want us to be women's champion.
you don't see her like going that, reaching those heights.
No,
I
no.
think a lot of people do, but I can
But
kind of,
why?
I
Like
don't really have any
how is like the
feelings on
mic? Like
it.
how is she? And it's not that I don't think that non like people who aren't like super fluent in English, like I think she's fluent enough in English, but like that they shouldn't be world champion or anything like that. But
Mhm.
I don't know. Like yeah,
No,
it's
I
just my
get you.
opinion though. But like I'm in the minority, so like whenever I'm in the minority of something, like I'm always like maybe it is a me problem.
Well, she hasn't made that same connection with me, so I don't think it's just a you problem. I think Battle Royale
No,
fodder is like a fair.
yeah.
It's not too harsh, but it'd be difficult to put her up higher. So we'll move on to Ethan Page.
I think he's quite good, but I do think this is someone who hasn't really had the opportunity to show all that they can do. The last time I
Mhm.
really saw him, because I know he does a lot in Ring of Honor, was when he came up and he did a match with Max. I think it was on Collision, and he did a big baby face promo because obviously they're friends in real life and they came up through the indies together. Um, and yeah, he did like all of his past and his history and how he
Yeah.
comes from like a working class background and stuff. I thought I really connected with him then, and
Yeah. He came
yeah,
across really well.
and his wrestling was great, and then just hasn't been on TV much. So I
Yeah,
feel like
not capitalized on.
I don't want to be like mid underutilized because that's a bit high up.
I was thinking Bathroom Break.
Yeah, bathroom break. I think that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, there.
Next is Evil Uno.
Can't be asked. No,
I know how
that
you
was a
feel.
bit mean.
We've already gone through what you think about spooky stuff.
Yeah, but
But is
Dark
it another
Order
one of them
originally
things?
wasn't too spooky though. Like it was more like a cult, and like I can get behind that, and I like the concept of the Dark Order, like in general as a faction. Like I think it was genius when AEW first started, and they had all those adverts of like join the Dark Order. It's all happy,
Yeah.
and then obviously we've spoke about Brody Lee when he came in, and we really like got the faction moving. But Evil
I I
again, like
felt
putting the
nothing.
title. Yeah, I felt nothing like putting the title on like Dark Order. Like it just didn't in my mind. It ain't feasible.
It ain't a draw, I don't think.
In a draw, brother.
Yeah, I felt nothing, can't be asked. It that
He's a
makes
mid
sense to me.
wrestler as well.
Mm, nothing really remarkable going on.
No, no, and the
Eh,
mask as well.
Mm. Excalibur, speaking of masks,
Uh,
is
we
next.
already know Elite,
Yeah,
one of the best commentators. We are spoiled on commentary in AW.
yeah.
The free man with Taz, Excalibur, and Shivani is just insane. And then we've got Nigel McGuinness as well, and
hmm
JR on rotation,
And
and
Kevin
Rick
Kelly.
Barney. Maybe not Kevin Kelly, but we'll get there. But Rick Barney, oh man, like,
He's very good.
but he's the best play-by-play.
Yeah, he is very
Best
natural.
play-by-play.
He makes it sound really easy, and I love the way that they work together. I love their dynamic as a three-man booth, and you can tell they're having fun, and that
Oh
really
yeah,
adds to the product.
and that it's just like AW in general, that it's just free flow, whatever they want to say on the fly, but he always stays it back to the story. He keeps him on task, and he
Mm.
can rapidly read a card in like 10 seconds. So,
It's so impressive
that's
when they do
also,
that. I
yeah.
couldn't
And the ad
personally
read
do
as
that.
well, like after. Sponsored by Shark Week. Yeah, he's just fantastic. When he first came on though, like I was like, what are you doing wearing a mask as like a commentator? Like, are you trying to get yourself over? Like, what's that all about? But
It's
now
just
I just think
his thing, isn't it?
he's just fantastic. I don't know how I'd listen to Dynamite without him.
Yeah, yeah. They are the voice of Dynamite. It is AEW. Those voices all together. It'd be
Yeah,
interesting to see, like in the not too distant future. Probably, maybe they'll have to change things up just to make it more fresh. Be interesting to see if they can match that sort of quality, but it'd definitely be difficult.
yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to be remembered as like, I don't know how to say this, as like a JR, because obviously he's a
Mm.
play-by-play, so he doesn't really have those like iconic face calls. But I genuinely think he's like on par,
Mm-hmm.
to be
I
remembered like that. It's just
Yeah,
insanely good.
I agree. Next person is Frank Gastineau, a referee for putting.
NPC ref.
Yeah, not don't. Yeah, no comment really. Don't really
Is
recognize him. Frankie Kazarian then again.
he still with the company?
I'm not. I
I
don't think
think
he
he
is. I think he's
is.
with TNA.
Yeah, he's been with TNA for a while.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right.
What
In
was the
fact,
tag
because
team
I
called?
actually saw
Sorry.
him on the TNA tour in
Oh,
Coventry, so yeah.
very snazzy. What was the tag team called that he had with Scorpio Sky? It was him and Scorpio Sky, right?
Yeah, and also Christopher Daniels was sort of in it as well.
Yeah, what was it called, that team?
I can't remember, but I used to really like them together.
Yeah. I always thought that they should have had the belts like at least once.
Yeah.
That was like the peak of him. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about because it's obsolete, so I'll stop talking about it.
Another one of your favorites, Fuego del Sol.
It's kind of I don't know you love because like I've heard the name, but it all just blurs into one. Fuego del Sol, Commander. What's that one called with Gravity? It's all the same to me.
Actually, I don't think he's with the company anymore.
Oh.
Just I've just done yeah, I because I didn't think I just wanted to double check. I've just done a really quick Google. Yeah, no, he's not in
Wasn't
AEW.
he the one who started like spilling tea about
Mm-hmm.
the company?
Yeah. So shout
Oh.
out to him for that. We love that.
Yeah, we love tea. Spill it all.
Got Fuego Dos.
Get that in. Don't know you love. Never even heard of that.
Yeah. He's the one who people thought was Cody
Fuego
Rhodes
das.
because he looked like Cody Rhodes wearing a mask, and people thought it was Cody Rhodes. Okay, Griff Garrison then. He's he's had a few matches
Is
recently.
is he in Dark Order as well?
Yeah.
And then he was in like that squad with Julia Hart and Lex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lex. Brian Pillman Jr. Don't know why I'm calling him Lex.
Because
It's
you're a massive
like,
NXT fan.
oh no, Alex Cruz. Oh my god.
I
I
I
felt
feel
nothing.
like he's a bit better than I felt nothing. I feel like Battle Royal fodder.
Well, I can't even remember anything he's done recently, so maybe I just blacked out during his
Mm,
matches.
in that case,
In that case, my friend, you are joining the likes of Top Flight and Evil Uno.
this amazing group of people.
Yeah, which is like the biggest group of the roster so far, which says a lot about the AEW roster.
Mm,
I felt
mm,
nothing.
mm.
Now the top will fill up soon.
It will. It will. As it's alphabetical, it's kind of you get a big group of meh, and then some gem will come along, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
Um, Hikaru Shida is next.
4 out of 5 for me.
I'm glad you said that. I feel like up high, she needs to be up high. Probably not elite
But
though.
she's like been a transitional champion. She's been the women's champion 3 times, which
Some achievement.
the inaugural. And she's great at wrestling, and the character connects with a lot of people. But yeah, just a victim of the booking. Maybe just hadn't had enough time to make a true impact. And maybe it might be time for her to shake her character up and maybe go
Yeah.
heel or maybe do something different.
I was just gonna say that I think there's some sort of character development that's not happened that's needed to kind of boost her up a bit more.
Because she's been there since day one, so and has been very linear.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
She's a great baby face though, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I
But it would be
think,
nice to see her
now
do
we've done
something
it 3 times as a baby face, winning the championship again, it'd be a bit like, but if she did won it as heel or got a new faction or something new to sink her teeth into. But I have a concern for her because obviously Tony signed a lot of new people, and we've got Diona. I'm trying to think. Yeah, he only signed Diona, he signed Ty Valkyrie before that, but like his priorities seem to be like Tony Storm, Sky Blue, and Julia Hart. He seems to be like really high on them. I
Yeah.
kind of feel like, probably not going to see her on TV for a while.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah, 4 out of 5 stars, I agree.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Kushida. Tanahashi.
How the hell is Tanahashi signed to AEW? Are you sure that's legit? I'm sure he has some kind of thing where obviously he can
He
perform
can
there,
I
but
think it's like he can wrestle on both, but he's definitely I don't think he's like signed. It depends. He's obviously signed to New Japan, so it depends if you want to count him or not.
well, he's obviously an elite wrestler, but what has he done in AEW? He's only been on Forbidden Door, hasn't he? I wouldn't class him as
Yeah,
being part of the
no.
roster personally. And I don't think you can rank him based on like the limited amount.
Oh
He's not
no.
on programming. I don't,
Yeah, no, it
yeah.
doesn't really.
But we love Tanahashi.
Yeah,
Slay.
no shade, no shade to Tanahashi.
No shit. I'm very happy he's taking over New Japan, taking them
Yeah,
reins. And
that's so exciting. Okay,
oh,
so
everyone's favourite.
yeah, the handsome devil, Hook.
Who the
I
fuck
have
is
to
that?
say
What is a hook?
I don't really get the hype. I don't really understand.
I
I
mean, I
don't
don't
think
think there's that much hype,
I feel like
but
there was at first. It might have died down by now.
you're not into the whole. He's being built up to maybe have a match at the minute against Samoa Joe. He defeated someone on Collision this week. I can't remember who. It was nobody,
See,
but he
forgettable.
defeated him. That win-loss record. It's very important. The most
There's
important factor of
nothing.
booking.
He's not really like drawing me in massively. I don't
I
know.
think his character is very aloof and it's very different, and but it's intentional, like the whole like quiet, like eating his crisps. Like I think it's supposed to be intentional that like he's quiet, but when it comes down to business he'll fuck you up. But
Mm,
we hadn't really had an opportunity to like see that side, which is why
yeah.
I think like maybe you don't connect with people. But I'm hyped up just from like watching him, and Taz is just like, oh my boy, and I'm like, that's your
Oh,
boy.
yeah. No,
But
that aspect of it is very nice.
it would be nice if he did more with the FTW championship, more
Mm.
FTW rules, if it was, like more segments filmed like off screen, but like featured on Dynamite, because like it should be like this shady like title, like CD, like not CD, that's not the right word. But you
CD.
know what I mean? Like it should be like this unregulated, like wild
Yeah,
thing. And it's just
like
not
the
booked
hardcore
like that.
championship.
It's just like
It
a
just
decoration, a part of like his
mm-hmm,
costume.
mm-hmm.
But I think he's really good. It's a shame after All In, because I feel like the Jack Perry stuff was good, and a shame what happened with Jack Perry as well. He took that bump on the car
Mm-hmm.
and got nothing out of it.
Yeah, yeah. And there was
But
nothing
I
wrong with that
like him. I
match. It was
think
a
he's
good
good.
match. I
I'd put him at
I don't dislike him.
underutilized, mid underutilized personally.
Yeah, I think I was between these two. I feel like probably personally bathroom break, I'm not really that bothered, but I do think that's harsh. Mm. Yeah, underutilized.
Maybe we should put him there because he's on the pre-show a lot.
Well, he was literally, yeah, often on the pre-show.
I don't know. That look at the people who are in mid underutilized. So it's like Colin Castle and Danhausen. I feel like it's quite interchangeable. The
He
bathroom
kind of.
break pre-show vibe and the mid underutilized, but we can put him in pre-show vibe. Hook
I
of
think,
House of Black. People are gonna kill us.
yeah, yeah, we are gonna get attacked, but it's all in good fun. So what are we saying? Hook mid or bathroom?
Put him down. Put him down, House of Black. We've put Danhausen above House of Black. We've put Dalton Castle. We've put Anderson above House of Black. That's so funny.
We can change our minds if you feel like they need to go down. This isn't static. This is
No,
dynamic. They can move.
no.
No.
I want House of Black where they are.
Mm. Well, okay, we'll stick it how it is.
Oh.
It's fine.
Why don't we move the mid underutilized tier below the bathroom tier?
You know what? With the people who
No,
are in it,
like
it actually makes
people,
more
all the
sense.
people in the sisters, but just like swap them around. So
It
the
actually
bathroom
makes more
break is a
sense.
higher tier.
But how is a bathroom break better than
Yeah.
mid? Like,
It makes a lot more sense that like these NPC refs are below
yeah, it does.
because they're on the because oh I don't know because now I just feel like it's all the same. I feel like bathroom break pre-show vibe and mid underutilized they're all just the same people.
Mm, no, I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like there's a distinction, but I think you're right that these people should be below these people. But should we change the names?
Yeah, so that Well, I think yeah. Well, no, I think like we need to like actually like swap the columns if that makes like I think like bathroom break needs to be the third highest.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that looks right. Danhausen and Dalton Castle below them. Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. But I think we should move Daniel Garcia up to bathroom
Yes,
break,
I was just about to say that too.
and then I'll be super happy.
This feels
Ooh,
more,
artifices.
yeah, this is more accurate now.
Oh, it's perfect. It's like solving an equation.
It's so satisfying. So satisfying when you get it right. Okay, now we've sorted that out.
It is.
Let's go on to Isaiah Cassidy.
Yeah. I don't know. They were kind of giving it all. We are coming for you. We're coming for everyone, and I don't know. I just didn't really, I wasn't really feeling it.
Well, fun fact, I'm actually wearing a private party shirt right now. And the
Oh,
reason for that is because it was recently Christmas, obviously. I was gonna say my birthday for some reason, but no, Christmas. And my because my mum like obviously knows I'm a massive wrestling fan. Got me this, which is a oh you can't even see it, man. This is just pointless. I'm gonna edit this bit out. She got me a Claudio figure from the AEW shop and some Blackpool
that's
Combat
so
Club
cute.
merch for Christmas, which was very sweet. And when I opened the private party t-shirt, she said, "Oh, I liked it because it's like got lots of colours on it, and it's a bit brighter than your normal wrestling merch." I think
That's
I
so random.
I think she had to put some extra on to get like free delivery or something, and so she just
And
picked
she
like
just picked private
private
party.
party for no
That's
apparent
so
reason.
funny.
I was like,
I love
"Thanks."
that.
To be fair,
I
it's quite
love
it's
that.
quite a nice piece of merch. But like, despite the fact that I'm wearing their merch right now, I'm kind of the same as you. I liked what they did before, but they've lost the
Yeah, hopefully
momentum,
they can get
obviously.
back to it. Things
Yeah.
can come back. Like Wardlow's, he was super hot, then he cooled off, and now it seems he's coming back up. So, but right now, how we're feeling right now, I'm feeling Battle Royale fodder.
Oh, that low. I was thinking mid.
I don't know. It's hard doing it because like they've only just come back.
Yeah, it's hard to say because
So it's
it's so early on.
but right now, if I saw him in like a battle royale and they got eliminated within like 5 minutes for some heel to get some cheap heat,
It'd be
I
pretty
wouldn't.
expected, wouldn't it? It'd be like,
Yeah, that's why I think they're there. It's not that I think they belong there forever or anything.
mm,
It's just where I'm at.
where they're at currently.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fair. It does
like
make
you're saying,
sense.
if we do it in a year's time or we, redo it in the future, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. No fault of them. It's just is what it is, isn't it? With
Yeah, just cooled off majorly.
mm,
So, and they literally only just come back. Like we're not joking. Like literally only just come back. Oh, we need
yeah,
to put
like
him in with
Jack Evans.
Angelico.
Is Jack Evans going up with Angelico? Oh,
Yeah, they're a tag team, but I've forgotten their name. But
do
then they've
they
just
have a
been like
name?
jobbers now.
Mm.
They had a name, yeah. I can't
Ah,
remember it though. I quite liked him. It
yeah,
was a different time.
yeah, I quite liked them. Obviously, two very good wrestlers. Again, Lucha
It's a
Underground.
shame. Yeah, literally. It's a shame though because naturally, as AEW's gotten bigger and gotten more stars, like those
Kind of
people.
blends into the
Oh, was it?
background.
Sorry, was the Frankie Kazarian Scorpio Sky thing SCO or something? SoCal or something like that.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I randomly just
I
came to.
see you.
Yes, like those groups and Pride Party and Pride and Powerful. You know, it was a big deal back in the day. Like it
Mm,
was so exciting. It's a shame that but not a shame because naturally it's a natural way of things when you've got Adam Copeland and you
yeah,
know
right.
other people like that on the show.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
yeah. There's not room for everyone at the top of the card, sadly. But
it's not a small pond anymore.
yeah. Next up is Jack Perry.
Oh, I love Jack Perry. I think he's so good.
I
I think he's
know.
so deserving. I
I
know.
know
I
you
think
think
he's
this.
so des- I think he's so deserving of being as part of the Four Pillars, and he's not the worst. That's Sammy Guevara. Um, right. So first of all, when he first started, and like I was saying, things back in the day were a lot bigger than they were. It was like having a TV back in '50s or whatever, and you had 3 channels. Everything was so exciting, and Luke, not Luke I'm trying to think of Luke Jurassic Express was very exciting and fun, and his his heel turn, I thought it was great, and I thought he was just getting his foot in with it, and he had heat when he was on those shows. I think a lot of those shows were quite undersold for the capacity of the arena, so the crowd didn't fully come across. Um, and also, yeah, like he's a bit rusty, but the thing is, like, he had been in developmental. AEW doesn't have a developmental. So,
Yeah.
like, he's just developing in front of you. And that's not a terrible thing. It's not
No,
like he
it's
was booked
not.
to
It's quite
be
a
like
nice thing,
the top
actually.
heel. No, it's a nice thing. He wasn't booked to be the top heel. He just had like a few like short segments and a few short like matches to get him over.
Mm.
And I mean, he did a great job being a heel. He literally got himself beaten up backstage. What more he got heat with real people. Like, what more do you want from him? His
Oh
theme was the
man.
only thing that needed to be changed. Okay. And he was fat, and it pisses me off so much that all in went down because I feel like if he'd have even just given it 2 more months, he would have found his footing. I'm sure he would have found his way into the Christian storyline. I'm sure Nick
Yeah.
Wayne, that was his
Yeah.
actual placement that was supposed to be in. His dad's dead and everything. R.I.P. So like he would have been in that. And just and yeah, also with the storyline with Nick Wayne, like yeah, it's perfect. But imagine if Jack Perry was the favorite son, because like Jurassic Express, like
I can
that storyline.
see if even that was what it was meant to be.
Yeah, and obviously right now, as of like us filming this, the other night he turned up in New Japan, ripped up his AEW contract, finally came back. I thought he was going to come back into the
Yeah.
devil stable, but no. So again, it's kind of difficult because he's been out for a long time.
Mhm.
He's been off TV. We don't know when he's coming back. It's hard because what do you rank him on? But Jenny, get on the Jack Perry hype train because in 5 years, you laugh now, but in 5 years, when Jack Perry's at the top of the card, the OG Jack Perry fans, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, we're gonna be here laughing at you down on the mountain,
Oh,
looking down, laughing.
I mean, I hope
Yeah,
you're right. I hope you're right, because I
sometimes
think
you have a bit of
he
faith.
deserves it.
Yeah,
I think that he, with the real life situation, that's where he's kind of like thrived. He's kind of coming out, not of his shell, but like he's just feel like he's just coming across more as like a personality. And
and he's capitalizing on it as well,
mm,
which is really, he's definitely got like the smarts. And people were chanting like CM Punk, I think, but he's in such a unique position where he can play off that. CM Punk can't in WWE, and also he
that's
won't get
so
much
true.
heat or anything off it. But he can. He's literally got a storyline going. He was wearing a band on his arm that said scapegoat, like, and that's a sympathetic heel as well, which all heels need to have a bit of a sympathetic motive. But anyways, that's like the Jack Perry analysis. But like, where do we rank him? Because I still don't know. I think he should be high
He
though,
needs to be up here.
but he can't be elite. It can't really be 4 out of 5 because he ain't on the show. But he can't be
Because
bathroom break. I think put him in obsolete.
really, I mean,
Yeah, because I just
so
don't think he's rank. He literally isn't. He hasn't been on it for months. I think it is a work, the contract, ripping the contract up. But in
yeah, I agree.
kayfabe, he's obsolete. He's ripped up his contract, and
Okay,
that'll make me feel better. But he should be
okay,
high up. And in the
okay.
future, when we do it in the future, and he's elite, and we can look.
It'll be like number one. No, because
Yeah.
until you said that about the contract,
Oh,
I was going to say like, well, we've just ranked Private Party, but they've been out for a long time. But in kayfabe, if he's ripped up his contract,
exactly.
then
He's
he's
obsolete.
down here in obsolete, which is not a bad thing. It just means you're not in
No,
AEW.
but yeah.
So that is what it is.
I'm thinking like, hopefully I've converted a few people today to the Jack Perry
Quite
line.
convincing that I have to say. You put the debating skills on point. Argument
Hopefully he
made.
won't let me down.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't. I think he kind of knows the position that he's in. He knows that he's in this
Yeah.
advantageous position. He's going to make the most of it.
And last thing, I do think he's been a bit of a disadvantage because the 4 pillar thing, they've all been compared to each other.
Mm,
And
it's not entirely fair.
when he had his heel turn, of course he was going to be compared to MJF. And of course he wasn't going to ever measure up to MJF on the mic because
Mm,
no one measures up to MJF on the mic. So, this
yeah.
going away, carving his new character and coming back, it's going to be great.
Yeah, completely fair enough. Fair, like very valid
You knew
comments.
it was coming.
I think
You
you made a
knew
good
this. You
argument.
knew this rant was coming.
Yeah, I certainly did. I was prepared for it. So we've got two obsolete people next.
Jake Cargill
Jake Atlas.
and Jake Atlas. Who the
And
hell's Jake
then
Atlas? Can't remember him.
he was in NXT briefly too, before AEW, and then he was released in 2022. So I don't really know
Oh,
why he's
very
on
good.
this. So not
Very
very up
good.
to date. Jake Hager, then, if we're going on to the next one.
Uh, Battle Royale fodder. Maybe I
Yeah,
felt
I
nothing.
never really.
No, he has a groovy hat.
He has a groovy hat. Is that enough to push him up
No,
into mid?
he stays in Battle
Okay,
Royale fodder.
okay. I thought you were saying like, oh, but he's got a funky hat.
No, like as in like he should be in I felt nothing. Like
Ah, okay. Even in WWE, I never like they try to push him quite a lot with quite a lot of character work. He was never really that good in the ring.
he's fine though. He's fine for his roles, like we're
Yeah,
talking about. It's okay to be a Battle Royale fodder. We need him.
it's not derogatory. It's you are a key
No,
part of the TV show, but
yeah, it's
yeah,
like a background character. We need extras.
yeah, yeah, precisely. So Jake Roberts is next. Our other
This is really
personalities are kind
hard
of here.
because we're just ranking him as obviously a manager. If we were ranking him as a wrestler, obviously he would be elite. And as a manager, when he's had his promo time, especially that promo, it was ages ago that he did with Cody. Never Trust a Snake.
Mhm.
Oh, that is so good. It's one of my favorite AEW segments. And he's paired with Lance Archer, which we don't really give a fuck about. And he's not very well utilized. It's not even necessarily the pair of Lance Archer. I get it. Like, I think that's great. Like, Lance obviously doesn't have that charisma. He's got a great look. Yeah, pair him with Jake Roberts, but they don't do out.
It's
He's
like
just there.
what are you doing with it?
It's not like Prince Nana and Swerve where there's like an actual dynamic, which we'll get into. Oh, there's gonna be a lot to say about Swerve.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm looking
Get
forward
prepared.
to it. I mean, Jake
Yeah, mid
Roberts on
underutilized.
the most recent episode of Collision. Yeah, it wasn't Rampage, it was Collision. He like hit someone
You
on
don't
the
watch
outside.
Rampage.
Who does anyone? Nah, joking. But yeah, he like
Burying the
gets
product.
involved
Nice.
sometimes on the outside. Like
Oh yeah,
sometimes he'll hit someone, and I think he works well
cliche
enough.
heel thing.
Yeah, well enough to do that, and it adds
Especially
heat.
got him more on the mic.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Like just a
underutilized
video
definitely
package.
fits.
Just a video package,
Mm.
like building Lance up, and maybe they could go do stuff together. I'm trying to think
Give us like a
like a
reason.
training.
Mm.
Yeah, like a training thing, like Jake training him in like his like dark ring psychology, and
Make us understand
that
why
would
they're
be
together.
so cool.
Hmm.
Bring the snakes out,
Yeah. Bring
or
the
just
snakes back.
anything.
Get a
Yeah.
snake to bite someone. Yeah, underutilized
Yeah.
sums it up perfectly.
Another person who has been absent for a very long time,
Yeah, Jamie Hater.
but I'm still hot on her rather than like other people. Like, I'm looking forward to her return,
Yeah, me too.
and what it's gonna mean. I think she's 4 out of 5.
Really, even with the absence.
Yeah, because I'm still hot for her.
Mm. She
Like, I'm
hasn't,
excited
even
for her to
though
come
she's
back.
been out, she's not lost. I mean, obviously you lose momentum, but it's like you say, you're still
Her
invested.
aura, her character, and I'm excited for it to come back because when Private Party, I guess in that instance, when Quen got injured, I can't remember whether they were in like some title feud or whatever. But here, when she went out, we all knew that in kayfabe she lost in that 5 minute squash match to Tony Storm, but we knew that wasn't the case. She was injured, and smart crowd that. So we're all hot for her.
Yeah, and
We're
we
all
all
ready for her to come back. Want her
yeah
to get that title back. She's
yeah.
entitled to it. And Tony Storm is champion right now, so maybe they'll keep the title on Tony. And I'd assume so till Wembley, have her come back and win it.
That'll be
And there's a
ideal.
storyline there.
There
It
is,
writes
and
itself.
yeah, it does write itself. It seems silly to ignore that and do anything else when it's, like you say, writes itself.
But she is, regardless of like circumstances, she is a very good wrestler.
Hmm.
In ring. Definitely carried the division with like Britt Baker and Statlander when the ice was very thin. The thin
Hmm.
ice didn't have a lot of depth to the roster.
Yeah, it was a bit dry.
Promo, don't know. She haven't really had the minutes to do it, but it's almost like people are so invested in her, she hasn't really needed the promo. So like when we do get good
Yeah,
promo, it's just gonna give even more
yeah,
and hopefully push her up to elite. And hopefully we
yeah.
get that
I
Brit
think,
versus Jamie Hayter feud as well.
mm, I
That'd
think
really push it over for
definitely.
me.
Yeah, I think there's not even a lot she needs to do to be up here. There's not.
Yeah,
She's nearly
she's
there.
just got it. She's just
Hmm.
got it.
Yeah, totally agree. Next up, Jay Briscoe. Hmm?
Yeah, Jay Briscoe. And same with Brody Lee, has to
Yeah.
be in elite for his legacy,
Hmm.
particularly in Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
which AEW now has a part of. Just
And I think
legendary matches,
they did a really nice job
especially
on honoring
FTR.
him. Yeah, like they did with
Yeah, the
Brody.
FTR dog collar match
Hmm.
was insane,
Hmm.
insanely good.
And
Yeah, they
everything.
did a great job on him.
Yeah, honoring him was just really nice. They are good at that. Yeah, so up there in Elite, self-explanatory.
But it's going to be Ash because Mark Briscoe is probably not going to be an Elite.
Sadly.
And really, they were a tag team.
Yeah.
But I do love Mark Briscoe.
Yeah. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
Yes.
So next is Jay Lethal then.
Battle Royale fodder.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, and I think he's fine there.
Yeah, I think he's fine. But maybe I'm just kind of thinking back when he was
To your
Ring of Honor
TNA
champion a bit
days.
more. Yeah, and TNA
Or
too.
to Ring of Honor.
Yeah. And maybe
Yeah,
my
but
view on him is being skewed by that. I
I think with the
think
people that are on the roster right now, he's perfect where he is.
mm,
He doesn't have the personality for it. I don't know. His personality is just a bit like in AEW, a bit one-dimensional. His character, so it's
he cuts quite a good promo, to be fair. Just I think you're right. It is quite one-dimensional with what he's been given the chance
there's
to do.
nothing wrong with that.
Mm,
Yeah, but in AEW, the thing is like given the chance to do, I have less leeway for the men because the
mm,
most of the men do get the minutes, and as well, it's very much a put forward your idea sort of thing.
true.
Like, yeah, the booking and where you are on the card is, but when it comes to character work, there's no real excuse because I feel like you have a lot of liberty there
Mm,
in terms of character. But again, I think that's fine. Like, he's in like, the ending years. Well, how old is he? Isn't he like mid-40s?
I don't know, but he's been wrestling for a long, long time.
Yeah, like he's in like the last bit of his wrestling career. He's just battle royale fodder, putting younger talent over, being a crony for Jeff Jarrett. It's no issue.
He's only 38.
Oh, never mind. He should be in his prime.
Because we all know that
um,
in wrestling, late 30s is peak of your career.
yeah, for most people. But yeah, I don't. He feels a lot older than he is, and
Mm.
I don't understand. I just don't. How would you push him further? It just don't warrant it.
For what he's done in AEW, I think you're right. Yeah.
He'll put on a great match. So yeah, have
Mhm.
him there. Oh,
And
oh,
for a
elite.
second, yeah, Jay White. I couldn't read that text for a second, but it's clearly Jay White.
Oh, Jay White, elite, right up to the top.
Oh man. Oh
What
man.
do you mean, really? Straight up to the
I know
top.
you love Jay White. And I don't have any issues with him. I've never found him the
Okay,
best wrestler in the world.
get
I,
ready. Get ready because I'm about to explain my cause. Okay,
please do. Please do.
so
Convince me. Convince
I
me.
felt the way that I think the people who are on the Jay White fence, I felt that way when he came to New Japan and he took over
Yeah.
from Kenny, and I thought
Yeah.
you're just a weak imitation of Kenny Omega,
Yeah, same.
and also you look like a child. Like what's
Yeah.
that look all about? Why you?
Yeah,
I can't explain it, but within like a year, I don't know what happened there, but within a year,
he
he
convinced
just
you.
locked in, and he just. I think at first I was like, he's like Kenny, but he's nothing like Kenny. Even since the Bullet Club days, like his character is a lot more deranged, a lot more psychotic, a lot more, and he's the best when he loses control, especially in those post New Japan, um, like the media scrums or like the
Mhm.
post match
Yeah.
interviews that they do as soon as you come out of the match. Got the microphone in your face. What do you think? And he's just losing his mind. And I was like, oh, okay. And also, his wrestling very good. And also, the beard very good. Good improvement.
Okay.
Also,
Okay.
he lost a bit of weight. He lost a
Mhm.
bit of weight. So I'm like, tell his life story. He lost a bit of weight, so that helped him move better, I think. And
Mm.
then he came to AW, and it were a bit like again like oh I'm happy he's here, but and then he got paired with the Guns, and it was just and Juice Robinson as well came over from the Bullet Club, and it's just been fantastic since, especially stuff with MGF minus the payoff at Full Gear, which is the worst match, one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life. And yeah, I love the way he wrestles. He wrestles so pathetically, and he wrestles in a very unique way because he doesn't really have like a move set. He always combats like his opponent. So like whatever his opponent does, he tries to like reverse it instantly or like play off it, and it's so dynamic. It's so interesting, and he just wrestles like such desperation, and his promos are just insane. Like, but it's also like unorthodox in the way that he does it because he has such a cadence. Like he'll talk like really quietly and like sarcastically, and it's just amazing. He's amazing. He's top tier. He is elite. He's an elite champion. I love him.
You
I'm
made a,
done.
you make a strong argument, and I do think he's definitely improved a lot. I have enjoyed the things he's done recently. You're totally right about his promos. He's very effective on the microphone. Just for All Elite Wrestling, I don't know if he is All Elite Wrestling. Like to me, he's more like New Japan. That's just like how I picture him in my head. I don't know if that's just because of his career, the way his career has spanned out.
But to me though, like that's kind of how I feel about Osprey, but I feel like that'll change
Mm,
as like he comes over and does more stuff. But also like Jay White's only had one program with MJF, and it ended bad for him.
mhm.
You know, let's see him in some more programs with some more big people, and I think then you'll change your mind. You'll see him as All Elite Wrestling, and you'll see him as like an integral part of the roster.
But if he's not had those big programs with those big wrestlers, does he then slip into 4 out of 5?
No, but he is. He is. No, he doesn't. No, he does not slip into top five. He's elite. He's so elite. He is one of the best wrestlers in the world. No, he's not 4 out of 5. You see, he is elite. You can't put him there. You
In
can't put him there.
in
You can't
fear,
Eddie Kingston above him. That's insane.
I mean, all right, okay, that is a contentious comment to make to compare him to say it like that about Eddie Kingston. But
Okay, yeah, let's not open that. But
in fear of ending our friendship, I'm I'm fine with him being in Elite. I don't have
then
the
the
strong
podcast ends
enough,
here.
yeah. I don't have the strong enough feelings to bump him down to 4 out of 5 stars. And you clearly have very strong feelings to have him in Elite, and that is fair.
Yeah, yeah. Omega versus Jay White. How does that not like when I'm right? So the thing is as well with Elite is I'm thinking like people who if like you're pairing with each other, it's just like boom, like dream matches because they're such impressive wrestlers. Like
Hmm.
Jay White versus Swerve Strickland, Jay White versus Osprey, Jay White versus Bryan Danielson. He fits. It's not like Jay White. No, sorry, it's not like Ethan Page versus Kenny Omega or like Darius Martin versus Bryan
Well,
Danielson. No, like his
well,
name
no,
belongs there.
no, it's not like that at all.
And
But
and
yeah,
in main event, he had it is. It's exactly like that. And he main evented full gear and watching. It felt natural to him to have the belt.
yeah,
Not that I like the belt angle, but I'm saying like him with the belt. It was
you're
very
right. Yeah, he did. He looks
natural.
like
It
a
was
champ. He looks like a champ, and like having him in
no, it didn't just
position,
look like a
it
champ.
wasn't
Acted
like.
like a champ.
Yeah, no, I know that's what I mean. That's what, and I agree. It wasn't like jarring to have him in that position. He does belong in the main event.
I can't believe like you're more convinced that like Jack Perry being high up than Jay White. Like, why is it hard for me to convince you of Jay White? It's mad that.
Yeah, I don't know why. I can't explain it. I don't know. It's Yeah. What can I say?
You
Jack
just
Perry.
got a bias against him. I don't know what he did
Obviously.
to you.
Obviously, yeah. I used to find him very overrated in New Japan. I don't think he's overrated now, but maybe that's why.
I think just give it time. Give it time and he'll
I'm
come
willing to
round.
at the time, yeah. So next on the list is JD Drake, who
Oh, that
wrestled.
randomer who I only
Yeah,
just heard of, like, because he had a match against Hangman. I'd never heard of him before in my life.
it was a pretty good match.
Have you heard of JD Drake?
I feel like he
I'm
might have
calling you out.
been it might have been on Rampage before. And that might have
Yeah,
I
probably.
might yeah, probably most likely. I might have seen him there before. I couldn't like tell you a match, but I thought he
I
did all right against Adam Page.
I
I thought it was
still
quite a good
still think
match.
he's don't know you, love. I
Really?
felt nothing. I don't know him like that.
I think
I don't know him like that.
considering we've seen him in a match, I feel like I felt nothing is more accurate than don't know you.
Yeah. I have to see more.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll wait and see more. Jeff Hardy then. Get
Also,
the
I don't like how
Hardys.
he's called Drake. Uh, Jeff Hardy,
Put the Hardys together.
X-Pac Heat. Yeah, but I
God,
don't think Matt does belong in X-Pac Heat, but Jeff does. He's just whining
why?
on. He's just whining on about not getting opportunities, but he's screwing up his own opportunities, which obviously is sad. It is sad. No one wants to see him go down that cycle. I don't. I wanted to see, the Hardys and let's see him go against all these new tag teams,
Hmm.
but it just hasn't
Yeah.
been that way. But it's also, I get it. I feel like at the minute, the way they're kind of playing it off is it is a bit storyline, but like, yeah, it just and he botches like half of his moves as well. Like it's just it's not fun to watch.
They are getting on and they've done a lot in their career and it's like what more is there really to do that people want to watch?
Yeah, and it's just like be happy with where you are on the card, and that like you're getting those opportunities anyway. Like yeah, I get it. Like you're Jeff Hardy, but if you're not showing up and you can't be trusted, you're getting DUIs, then what do you expect?
Mm.
And
But
you're also botching
yeah.
as well when you do show up, so it's just a bit, it's just taking time away from like other people that could have that.
Yeah, but then I just feel like, but it's the
I've
Hardys
never
though.
liked Jeff
Um,
Hardy though. I've never liked Jeff Hardy.
you seem like the
Maybe
type
like
of
that's
girl who would have loved Jeff Hardy.
no, I hated him like growing up. CM Punk 2008, 2009, I absolutely hated him. I was like, what a loser doing drugs. I was well into that straight edge propaganda.
CM Punk
Like I was
achieved
I
his
was
game.
loving the
Target
straight edge
audience
propaganda
reached.
over the drug propaganda. And how the hell was the heel the straight edge person?
Mm, good point.
I
Good
say as I
point.
am now drinking a glass of wine. But yeah, in terms of AEW, that's just where I'm at with him. It's either X-Pac Heat or I felt nothing can't be asked.
I think
And
I
seeing
felt
as they're both
nothing.
together, I felt nothing can't be asked. Unless he cheated on Rebby, then they can both go in X-Pac Heat.
Oh, b- who knows what the bloody hell's happened
Who
there because
knows?
she's given us so
Maybe she come back to
much.
wrestling.
She's giving so much at the same time as giving absolutely nothing. So,
Yeah, it could all just be a work,
mm,
but that's weird. Like, why are you working that?
I don't think it
Anyway,
is.
now we're spiraling into just Hardy
Into
lore and bullshit.
Hardy drama. They need their own reality TV show.
Oh,
Um,
I'd watch the shit out of
Total Hardys.
that.
10 out of
It'd
10
be a
would
lot more
recommend.
chaotic. Yeah,
Right,
it's just
Jeff
where I'm at with
Jarrett
him.
is the next one on
He's
the
elite.
list.
He's top tier. He had the worst match of the year, I think, apparently, according to like a lot of like the voting. I don't want to reference cage match because disgusting. But that Texas Chainsaw Death match seemed to really get on a lot of people. But I thought it was a cinematic masterpiece.
Uh,
I popped so hard when we saw him at Wembley,
yes,
probably The wrestler that we fought the hardest for. And Karen, of course.
For Karen mainly. It was so unexpected. That was why we just like went and found our seats, and there was like an angle going on that no one knew about.
We heard music, and we were just like, "Oh, I thought it was a part of it. Oh, it's Miro's music."
Yeah,
he's doing a contract signing.
Suddenly, Jeff Jarrett and Karen and Grado are gracing Wembley. It was outstanding.
Yeah. I love him. And also, like, he's such a great asset to the company in that he's responsible for a lot of the international deals. He's that's part of his role. He has an executive role backstage, and he takes care, I believe. I mean, they don't do house shows, but he has a role in live events, I'm pretty sure, as well. And I mean, hell, they secured Wembley, so he's clearly doing something right, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's elite, especially if, like, you know,
depends how.
I mean, what side of the coin?
It depends how you rank him though, because like
let's just judge him as a wrestler.
As a
battle
wrestler,
royale fodder. As a very good battle royale fodder.
What a fall from grace.
But you know, if
as a wrestler,
have his other contributions in, he's elite, and he's elite in my heart as well.
That's the most important thing. That's what all these wrestlers should be aspiring to be, elite in Estelle's heart.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Jim
elite
Ross.
in Estelle's heart, Jim Ross.
I love Jim Ross so much.
Me
I'm like
too.
going through such a Jim Ross, like, because I read his first book, Slobberknocker, and then I started From Under the Black Heart, I think it's called. And because I've just been like continuous listening to JR alongside his podcast, I feel like I am JR. I feel like I am Jim Ross. Like, I feel him on a spiritual level.
Mm-hmm.
I already cited that I think he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But having said that, has he been on form in AEW? A lot of people have a lot of gripes with him. You know, grumpy JR.
Well, it's what do you expect? He's
a
been doing it for so
His theme
long.
song is Boomer Sooner. Come on, guys. What are you expecting? Like,
he's 72 years old.
And his calls are hilarious. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I used to love when he was like the main dude doing it. When he was on that 3-man with Excalibur before Taz came in, and it'd be like the lucha wrestling, and especially Penta, and he used to get so mad about like them not following the rules. And he's like, commentator, like, you shouldn't be pointing that out, you're burying them. But he'd be like, just no one pay attention. Like, it popped me, man. It popped me.
It's entertaining, and he's obviously a legend. I think it's amazing that he can still do what he does now.
Yeah, we're very lucky the time that we have with him. People should not take it for granted, because he had a lot of health scares recently, and his contract is coming up, I believe, in a month.
Oh, okay.
But personally, for me, yeah, so we don't know what's going on there, but I'd say elite.
Yeah, I agree. A
lot of people, I think, could put him in 4 out of 5, but
when we saw him at Wembley, I just remember feeling like emotional, like hearing his music. I was like, I can't believe that's Jim Ross. Like, it's crazy to think at like the age that he is at Wembley Stadium, still going strong behind the commentary desk. I mean, I know some people would say, well, he's not going strong, he's shit, but I disagree. I don't think he's bad. Like, he's not as good as he once was, but it's gonna happen. People aren't gonna be as good as they were fucking 30 years ago.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's just, one, he's older, so he can't get the same, like, Excalibur's got that, like, that loud, like, voice, and he can do those dramatic calls. JR can't do that anymore. That's a limitation that he has. 2, he's older, but that's valuable because he brings in knowledge from the territories, and he makes amazing references during, like, when he's watching Moxley, and you can see him get excited because he sees something in Moxley that he saw in the Mid-South, and he'll like make calls to like Junkyard Dog. Oh no, like, that's history.
Yeah, that bank of knowledge, you don't get that from anyone else.
Exactly.
That amount of experience, it's just not. It's
and
invaluable.
He might slip up, and he might not know everything, but he's a human.
Exactly. People are harsh, harsh judges in wrestling.
Yeah, we love JR. Us, people human, don't judge. Also us.
Also us, X-Pac Heat.
All these people. X-Pac Heat.
But Jim Ross in elite, where he deserves to be.
Absolutely.
Joey Janela's not in the company anymore.
I love Joey Janela. I know we're not talking about him, but I thought he was really good. And I think it's one of the saddest obsoletes.
Yeah, I found it surprising as well.
Yeah. Yeah, me too, that it didn't work out.
So next then is John Silver.
In general, I do feel nothing for the Dark Order, but I would put him in Battle Royale fodder because he has a bit of a person. He has a personality.
Yeah, he does have
He's
personality.
humorous.
Yeah.
He's entertaining. I'm entertained with him on screen. I don't want him to be pushed to the moon, but but having said that, BTE did end, and then it got took over by Being the Dark Order, and I haven't seen Being the Dark Order, so maybe if I watch it, maybe my opinion will change. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll grow to love him.
yeah, I think like stuff like that really gives people a chance to shine, doesn't it? So potentially.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched it either. So I would agree with Battle Royale fodder.
Mhm.
And look who it is. Look who's next. John Moxley, a man after our own hearts.
He is all elite
He
wrestling.
is, yes, exactly.
He has carried the company on his back for so long and
Through some
thanklessly as
tough
well during
times.
the pandemic,
Mm-hmm.
when it would be a lot easier for him to have, yeah, he's just so. I just have such respect for him because he knows who he is, and he just.
He's so
I saw this
real.
thing
He's
in
so
it
true
where
to himself.
talking about how like they see him as like a locker room leader, but he doesn't need to do anything. He doesn't go around telling people what to do or what they should do as a veteran. Just his poise and the way he carries
He just
himself.
is,
It's
yeah.
elite. He is elite.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we've talked about this before, like Shield girlies, obviously. And
Obviously.
he's like always been really good since WWE, but then he got into this like goofy thing, and you could tell,
Mitch the Plant.
yeah, that just peak
What what
peak
was
of
what was his talk show called again?
I don't remember.
Do you remember that in WWE when everyone had a talk show?
Yeah,
It'd be like The Miz and then like
yeah, and it's like
Ambrose's Corner.
so it was something
So
like
fucking
that.
dumb.
It was something like that. And it's like not everyone can pull this off, so we don't need to keep on doing this. But the thing was, you could tell he didn't enjoy it, but then he went to All Elite Wrestling, and you could just feel how much he just loves wrestling, and that passion came back. And like you say, he's carried the company through some fucking tough times, and he's that reliable person.
Yeah, and he's just a great wrestler, great promo.
Yeah, he's the full package. And I
He's
love
the
the
full
Blackpool Combat
package.
Club as well. I just love that he. As I said, I'm gonna repeat myself, but they love working together. They're like legitimate fighters, and I love how they're a team, but also they do individual
And their
stuff.
styles interweave, like
Yeah.
they tell her the story in the ring, like, they'll pick up different moves from each other, like
Yes. Yeah. John.
it's it,
Oh, we
it's
love him.
hard to lament, when someone is that great, because it's like, oh, they're just great, mate. They just are. Like,
Yeah.
what else is there to say? And like, yeah, I guess maybe the controversy, oh, he gets shit for bleeding too much, which I don't.
Uh, mm, I don't like. I don't really typically like blood that much, but it doesn't. It maybe it did used to bother me a little bit, but now I feel like they've kind of cooled off on it a bit, and I understand sometimes it adds intensity, and I think if John wants to bleed, then just bleed and just do whatever you want, Mox.
Just let him bleed. Yeah, it's hard. I mean, his whole aura just from, his entrance coming through the crowd, which he did since his Shield days, just it's just unlike anything else. And
Yeah.
he just loves wrestling so
Mhm.
much, and he understands the mission of AEW, what AEW is, and why it's important to exist and why it needs to exist. And he furthers that mission without getting involved on like online bullshit
Yeah.
and ever getting involved in like any kind of drama or controversy, even though like he'd have every right to, like, especially during like the punk stuff and brawl out.
Yeah.
I think he was in the locker room, wasn't he? or something like that.
I
Or
think
he
so.
had some kind of proximity to it, and he
Yeah.
would have had every right to have talked about it and say his piece, but he maintains such like a level of professionalism.
Yeah.
And when he's on commentary and he just drops like an F-bomb by like accident, and it's like we were saying, like Bryan Danielson, you'll never take wrestling out of that man.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
even when his in-ring career ends, he's going to be doing something else.
Yeah.
Be it commentary, manager, some kind of role backstage that I don't think he would do like anything like too executive, because he just needs to be close to the action. He just loves it.
Yeah. He's not involved. He doesn't care about the drama, and he doesn't get involved in it at all. And that's, like you said, it's so professional.
My favorite type of wrestler is just people where like the passion just comes out of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just fucking live, breathe, love wrestling.
And it just comes across on
That's
screen.
who you want at the top. That's who you
Yeah.
want at the top of your company.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Completely agree. Well deserved in Elite. Jonathan Gresham, not in the company anymore.
Wouldn't have even known him if I'd have heard of him.
Speaking of that, I can't read this person's name.
Yeah, we don't know him. Unfortunately, the tier list is a bit janky, but you know, we're getting through it. We're getting through it, guys.
We're dealing with what we've got.
Jose.
Jose.
You heard of Jose?
No.
No way, Jose.
What a throwback, by the way.
No way, Jose. I like how it's just the Adam Rose gimmick again. And before that, it was Funkasaurus. Like, what is it in like the 2010s where they're like, we need to have like at least one act that comes out and has like a bunch of jobbers dancing for
It's a
them?
conga line, because conga line is what people want to see clearly on TV.
No, or like Fandango, it's like getting over like a dance move or something. It's so dumb. Anyway, totally irrelevant.
Josh Woods is the next person.
Don't know him.
Me
Don't know
neither.
you, love.
Julia Hart.
How do you feel about Julia Hart?
I think she's fine in ring. I don't.
She's with House of Black.
Yeah.
So
I,
and
I
we've explained how we feel about House of Black, but
yeah.
she is very good, and she
Yeah.
has something about her.
I think, like, you know, with her entrance, and she like does the miming to the words. It's like,
Yeah,
I
it's
feel
all
like,
very slow,
yeah,
somber.
I feel like there could be so much more. I feel like it's giving something, but it's not giving enough. I think she needs to be a bit more charismatic. I don't know. I know
Really,
it's
I
probably
think she
like,
is charismatic though. For a lot of people, really like her.
I like her.
She's
I just,
actually like one of the most like over people in AEW. When
mm,
it comes to, obviously don't want to talk about stupid shit like TV ratings too much, but when you break it down, when her segments are on, it spikes up.
mm,
Yeah, people, when she won the TBS title, people were really hot for that.
mm.
I just I can take her or leave her, but I do think she's one of the better parts of the women's division.
Yeah, she is. I
For
agree.
me, it's bathroom break, but I think for most people it's 4 out of 5, so I'd be willing to put her in 4 out of 5. But for me personally, it would be bathroom break.
I think,
But how can I put her in pre-show vibe when she's a champion? So she has
well,
to be in
yeah,
4 out of 5.
that's what I was thinking, and also I feel
It's
like
just my opinion.
I feel like she belongs with these other women. Like, if we're obviously thinking in terms of the women's division, that this is the same caliber that she's on. I just think
Yeah.
a little bit more personality will go a long way.
Yeah, I mean, what else can you do though? Because that whole gimmick is somber,
Well, yeah,
spooky,
it's
everything
an
I
issue.
don't like.
It's an issue with the
You know.
gimmick. Justin Roberts,
Yeah, Elite. I think he's a great announcer.
yeah,
Jan Moxley.
he does add so much to it.
Yeah, he's the best announcer they have. It was a great signing that they got. There's not much more to say. He's really good at announcing people's names.
Yeah, he's talented. He's an absolute natural at it, and his voice is connected to AEW. Kayla Rossi, not in the company anymore. Keith Lee,
Can't be asked.
really? Oh, I
Yeah,
see.
I really
I
can't be asked. I used to love him in NXT. I cannot be
Mm.
asked.
I feel like that's too harsh for Keith Lee.
He's so boring. He's so
He's not.
dry. He's like
He's
toast with no butter on.
oh, that is so
Or
hard.
cereal without enough milk.
You know, I
And
don't eat
he
cereal with
walks around
milk.
the ring like I get it, like you've got long COVID and I feel really bad for you about that. But he walks around like so mopey in the ring and just like, oh
He's
just
definitely
no.
definitely used to be a better wrestler, but I can't in good faith because I do feel something. I do feel something.
That's good. Put him there then if you want, but oh,
But
it's a
you like
chore
it just
watching
but
him.
just know that I disagree. That's the energy you're
Yeah.
giving off.
You gotta give some leeway sometimes.
This is we're compromising. It's all good.
Whoa,
Well, you can pop off now, Kenny Omega.
guys, it's Kenny Omega. It is the greatest wrestler in the world. He is revolutionary. He's on my Mount Rushmore of four wrestlers.
Mm.
He is a catalyst. Well, I know Jay White, the catalyst for wrestling, but he is the catalyst of change in wrestling. Obviously, I have such an emotional attachment to him.
Yeah.
When I began to fucking disgusting word mark, but when I began to come a mark and like understand all the technicalities behind wrestling, it was Kenny, it was New Japan, it was New Japan 2016, 2017 that really like opened the doors to that.
Mm.
And AEW wouldn't exist without Kenny. Like this company wouldn't
I
be a
mean,
thing without
yeah,
him.
literally.
He is no matter what, like you can't take it away from him, even if like it isn't your style of wrestling.
Yeah.
But to me, he is the pinnacle of what wrestling should be. However, I will say, because always, there's two sides, and obviously every wrestler have a weakness. It is a shame that his run has not been as strong as his New Japan run.
Mm.
And, you know, he had to tone back the cleaner style. He couldn't do it anymore, like the toll on his body
Hmm.
and moving over to American TV, fair enough. But it is a shame. And it's a shame that his best work was when he was a heel and he was champion during COVID, for God's sake.
Oh,
One of the
so
things that I
unfortunate.
do love about Kenny is he always talks about how he wants to be the best at everything. It's why he came to America and why he did the trios title, why he did the tag title. He wants to do everything, and I respect that so much. And he even does like EVP work. He's been involved in like every part of the company. Um, and yeah, like I say, like it's just a shame because this should be your top guy. Why is he not booked as your top guy? Like I understand right now, like obviously the past year,
Mhm.
like he's been injured and stuff. But why before that were you not booking him as like your senior? Like people love him.
Yeah,
People love him. Like
he's such a star.
yeah, and he's just the greatest. He's just one of the greatest wrestlers in the world. A
Yeah.
catalyst of change. The whole reason AEW exists. Look at the podcast called Two Sweet Guys. Like, obviously, Kenny Omega, get him in Elite, get him up there. Yeah, I don't know if you
Yeah,
have anything to say about him. Like, it's just,
I can't really say anything more than what you've just said without repeating what you said. I completely agree.
I
He's
wish I could say more about these people
yeah,
in the top, but it's just
it's
go.
like
The top 10 matches of last year, the majority of them will be Kenny Omega matches.
mhm. It's like you
Like
can't
the
really
top
even
matches in AEW history, over 50% will have Kenny in them.
you
Like,
can't even like do him
guys,
justice how good he is.
no. And people just need to really appreciate him and like appreciate what we have because clearly he doesn't have much longer. If
Yeah,
he even comes back at all.
sadly, very true. It makes it more exciting for when he does come back. I think he'll come back. I do. I think he's another one of these people who loves wrestling so much that he'll probably, even if it's to the detriment of his own body, will probably come back.
I know. But hopefully when he comes back, him and Tony has the realization that we need to put everything and get everything out of this last
Make
run
the most of it.
and not just piss about with jobbers and I
Hmm.
get it. I understand him. He wants to do his breakup angles with the elite and how I'm friends with
Yeah.
Adam Page and now not. And obviously, I think it would have been great if Ibushi had been, in a bit of better health. We could have maybe got some more Golden Lover stuff, but clearly that one on the cards. But let's not piss about. Get him in big angles. Let's do the Adam Copeland versus Kenny Omega,
Oh
and then on his
yes.
way out, put over someone like Swerve, or ideally Jay White because it makes the most sense.
And we'll end that there because there's nothing
Yeah,
else to
mic
say.
drop.
Yeah, mic drop moment. Pipe bomb. Moving on, Kira Hogan.
I think she's all right, but doesn't have a personality.
Yeah, it's not. There's not a lot kind of to work with there.
I kind of put her in. I
Nothing.
felt nothing, to be honest
There's
with you.
nothing wrong with her. Yeah, yeah, I agree.
But it's just character. There's no character there.
This person's not in the company anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Kip Sabian. Yeah,
Underutilized.
so
I don't think
true.
he should be a top guy. Same with Penelope Ford, who I also adore. They're amazing in ring. They have a
Yeah,
personality. They have package deal. Like you could literally book them together as like this obnoxious mid card heels, or even like regular jobbers.
yeah, yeah. But
What are you
they give
doing?
so much more than just like a regular jobber. They've, like you said, they've got a personality.
But even if you want to put him there, like if he's going to be a jobber, like at least like give him something. Such a shame. Such
Yeah,
a shame because, like I say, I think he's great,
yeah, I agree with you.
and I think he's just one. Hopefully, he just needs to catch heat with like one thing,
Yeah, like one,
just one gimmick, one storyline away, one match away. I feel like from,
yeah, one angle could definitely catapult him
but
into
some people
bigger and
never
better
get that,
things.
did they? I don't know why I'm being so depressing tonight, but some people don't. Like you're just always
That's the
waiting
way it
on
is.
like Dolph Ziggler in 2016.
Don't you mean Nick Nemeth
Yeah, sorry,
of
Nick
TNA
Nemeth, TNA.
Takeshita?
4 out of 5.
Yeah,
Come on, guys, we saw the Derby match. Don't argue, after that. He's great.
he is an absolutely amazing wrestler, and I think he fits the gimmick so well with Don Callis. It just works.
Yeah, it works. And because he's got Don Callis, like he could be elite one day and he could be like world champion of something.
Yeah,
Because he's got that mouthpiece.
yeah, it gives him that legitimacy.
Yeah, he's just really good, guys. Takeshita.
Just trust. Chris Statlander is next.
To me, Chris Statlander is elite.
Hmm.
To me, she is one of the best in the women's division. She's come so far, especially, she's
Yeah.
an OG.
Hmm.
I wish they played into more like the best friends thing. They do kind of,
Yeah.
and like she'll kind of be in some background segments, but why not like have them interact like even more? Why not have her like be involved in like their angles? Because clearly neither of them have much to do. I don't know she
Yeah.
was TBS champion.
Hmm.
Yeah. I was confused with TBS and TNT. But yeah, like why not have them all like involved? I mean they kind of do, but it's like it's in that way of like, oh well, if you watch this YouTube clip and you watch this interview on Rampage, and it's like,
Yeah.
no,
It
like
needs
you
to
could push
be.
this a bit more.
Yeah, it needs to be right in front of our face. It needs to be on TV.
But she
But
puts on a great match.
yeah, yeah, consistent, like you said, from the very beginning, always been very good.
And yeah, even though she isn't like the best promo in that, like she's never going to be that shouty, I'm gonna get your title.
Mm.
I kind of like it, and I kind of like how AEW has a place for her and how like she's unconventional and
That sort of thing.
that
If everyone,
alien sort of gimmick she has. I
yeah,
like it.
yeah, me too. And if everyone was like that, like you say, like shouty sort of promos, it doesn't work for everyone, and then everyone blends in. You need someone like her to bring something different to the table.
Yeah, and her like lifting Renee while she's
Yeah,
getting interviewed.
10 out of 10.
Wearing Zoolander costumes. It pops me. It works for me.
Hmm.
So
Next up, Kyle O'Reilly.
tough because he's been out for so long.
Yeah,
Mid underutilized because
yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm intrigued to see whether he's going to come into the Devil Stable. They're not called the
Mm.
Devil Stable. They're called what are they
Undisputed.
called? Undisputed Kingdom.
Hmm.
That's it. I'll start calling him that
I
from
hope
now
he
on.
gets in on that. That'll be great.
Yeah, gets that guitar solo in to that
Oh my
theme.
god. Oh, please, please. If
No,
you
like
do that.
they could like push someone out of the stable by like having like Kyle O'Reilly come in.
Yeah,
That would be good.
yeah, that would. But I think mid
For
works.
like a bit more like tension. Yeah,
Mm,
it's just a difficult one, you know, he's not about, so he had
yeah,
a really bad injury.
yeah. Lance Archer is next.
I'm going to be generous and put Battle Royale fodder. But really, he is. Those people in Battle Royale fodder are for him because that's all he's in is Battle Royales. And he
And he's
goes through
really
those
big
people.
and really tall. And he's so strong.
Yeah. I can I can I can appreciate that it's impressive, you know, when someone does like a pop-up power bomb or something and they're that big and they've got crazy strength, but it's not the 80s anymore. You need a bit more. Times have changed. Times have moved
Times,
forward.
yeah, times have changed. Thank God. Yeah,
It's
it's not,
not
and it's
five
not
moves of
enough to just
doom.
be a big guy.
Yeah. You know, maybe if he'd been in WWE, I don't know, I keep bringing up WWE, but if he'd been in WWE in the mid, 2010s, or
Mm,
just even before that, Vinnie Mac would have loved it, but
mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Probably wanted to sign him. But yeah, literally Battle Royale for it. Like all of these we've been talking about Lance Archer with
yeah,
about
they'd
him.
be fed
So
to him,
yeah.
and he would benefit nothing from it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we'll move on to Lee Johnson.
I do know him,
Mm,
but I can't remember him being memorable when I've watched him.
yeah, I felt nothing.
Yeah,
Lee Moriarty.
felt nothing. Saw his match on Collision with Shane Taylor. Felt nothing. Felt more towards Shane Taylor. Why is Shane Taylor the manager in that situation? I don't know what's going on there. I'm not going to speak too
No, I'm
deeply
not
on it
really
because
properly following it. Yeah, felt nothing. Leela Gray. Oh,
heard
however
the
you
name.
pronounce it. I
Can't
might be saying
remember.
it wrong.
Can't remember it standing out to me.
No. Leva Bates.
Obsolete. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Lexi Nate.
Again, these categories it's hard because she's an interviewer. She's fine.
Felt
I don't think
nothing.
she's I don't think she's underutilized. I think for an
She's
announcer, yeah,
fine.
4 out of 5. 4 out of 5 stars.
Yeah.
She does the job.
I think
She does the
she's
job.
quite good. She's not as good as Renee, but
She's
then
just
I
not
don't think
Renee, is
anyone
she?
is. No one
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
Like Renee just sets the bar unreasonably high. So the next one is Layla Hirsch.
Don't know. Don't know if she's still with the company.
Think yeah, I think she is. I think she's mainly on Ring of Honor though.
There you go.
That explains it. Next up is
I
Leo.
only watch Athena segments, so
Yeah,
I wouldn't know.
and Leo Rush is more in New Japan now, right?
Yeah, it used to be about way more,
Mm,
didn't he? Like at the start.
yeah,
Yeah, I felt nothing because I don't even know if he's still with the company.
yeah. I don't know either. I feel like he's not wrestled in AEW for a while. Luchasaurus.
Interesting.
I feel like he's come up a lot in our conversations throughout this.
Or Killswitch, as he's now known as. It's difficult because he hasn't really had a lot of like one-on-one wrestling since joining the stable, the patriarchy.
Mm-hmm.
His character's super interesting. I'm excited to
It
see where it's
is,
going to go
yeah.
and his conflictions and the rising jealousy over Nick Wayne.
Mm-hmm. He's always
Uh,
kind of been a bit of a background character to someone else in
yeah,
the spotlight.
he's never going to be the top. He's a man with a dinosaur mask on. He's never going to be, in the top of the card. He doesn't speak hardly.
But
Like
to be fair to him, he's one of the only wrestlers who Ian, my partner, who is not a wrestling fan, remembers because he thinks it's hilarious that he's a dinosaur. And he's like one of his only wrestlers that he really knows. So, he's got like, I guess my point is that he's like memorable and
Got
it's
some wider appeal.
But got
in
that
terms of like
casual appeal.
in ring, he's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's hard. You can't put him in battle royale fodder. He's not mid underutilized. 4 out of 5 is too high.
I think
Bathroom break for
would be
me.
fair. Yeah.
It's just a bit weird because he's in a very intriguing storyline right now.
Yeah, currently.
But as a wrestler, just him on his own, we'll put him there nicely.
Yeah, I feel like, that's third highest. That's fair.
So yeah, that'll do it. We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
If you could, leave a comment, leave a like on YouTube, on Spotify. If you could leave a rating, especially, that is the most helpful way to further the podcast. And also subscribe. You can do that on Spotify and follow the podcast on Spotify.
Well, thank you for listening to Sweet Podcast, and see you next time.
I must bid you adieu, goodbye, and good night, bang!
I wish you died in the womb!